What's up, everybody? So, Sopko here from Tricky Gym Discord. I also am on the Cardboard Warriors Discord. If you follow GLC, you guys can follow me at dsopko here on social medias, X, and everything like that. I know it's been a while since I streamed or done any videos or content. I've been kind of just powerhousing a lot of Cups challenges. And working on the new competitive season. Now that we got through Pittsburgh and we got through Worlds, I know there's a lot of exciting new content coming out. Ancient Future, Pokemon. I know that's one thing that a lot of us are looking forward to. I know me personally, I'm looking forward to set 151, especially with like the new Zapdos, the new Mew, like a lot of cool cards, the Alakazam. A lot of good cards coming out of 151 that's going to change our meta. So I'm going to kind of break down what I've been doing lately, guys. I went to my first challenge back in July after I got back from vacation and ended up finished 3-1-1 for 4th place in the challenge. So I was excited for that. Earned my first 10 championship points. Here I went to my first cup. Drove like 3 hours to go to the cup, and it was actually on the same Sunday after Worlds just ended, and I played the exact 60 of Towards. Ended up losing in the finals to Lost Box, but needless to say, very, very happy with my performance, finishing second in my first ever cup. So that was nice. I brought myself up to 50 championship points then after that. Of course, we registered for Pittsburgh. And of course, I was playing Guardy, finished 10th in another cup with Guardy. Then went to another cup, played Miraidon. Literally finished second to Nicholas Moffitt. He was playing Lost Box Kyogre. So as you can see here by the picture, that was our picture of our finals. So it's kind of weird. 1 week before Pittsburgh, and then the exact same finals matchup as Pittsburgh. So I found out firsthand how competitive and how hard it is to stop that Kyogre deck. Path. Even playing the Path version, I just feel like it just kind of stalls it. Kyogre is just still a very tough matchup for Miraidon, just because of the hit points. I'm not quite sure as far as maybe what else you could tech in, maybe like more switch cards, that, or maybe try to not bench as many things. That's really the only suggestion I can really give for that. So it was cool to finish second though in that cup. So that put me up to 90, and my goal was to be at 100 points before Pittsburgh. So I was very happy with that and being at 90, considering I went to 4 cups, I finished second, 16th, 10th, and second, and then I only went to that one challenge. So needless to say, I was doing pretty good as far as my locals. This is kind of my Pittsburgh meta breakdown. Lost Antina was the most high played. Guardy and Mew were still like top 6. I didn't think Miraidon. I knew Lost Box was going to be up there, but I kind of figured if people knew how to beat Lost Box with Lost Antina, that they would end up going to Lost Antina. But still, Lost Box was the second most played, and Lugia and Miraidon right there. Going into Pittsburgh, I knew I wasn't going to play Gardevoir. I played Gardevoir to NAIC, and I basically bubbled myself out of day 2 with the ties, and I wanted to play something that was just going to win games. So my 2 decks going in that I had sleeve up were Lugia and Miraidon. Miraidon I obviously felt a lot more comfortable with, and the list that I threw together, I did use Mahomes like World's Path deck list, but instead of taking out the Arvin for say a Tomb or a Drapion, I put in a 4th boss. The 4th boss felt really good. It can boss up a Genesect for game. But the big thing is against Lost Antina, you have to boss up the Vs in order to control the board. If you boss up their Vs, they kind of can't play catch up with you. And that was kind of the whole idea. A lot of times too, you're just looking for boss for game against a lot of decks. Let's go up here. So I ended up finishing 351. That's wrong. It was like, what, 1,779 players there at Pittsburgh. And we'll go kind of over the breakdown. So here was the deck. Like I said, very similar to Mahomes, but instead of the Arvin, I played a fourth boss. So I like the deck a lot. Very explosive. Can kind of just take over a game. You were also kind of not out of a game because you can always just come back and KO something, path something. And even when practicing too, like, I did feel like path was necessary against Mew and against Gardevoir. It did feel like paths were necessary. St. John Park's build, I did actually practice that a lot, and obviously that's more of the version that Jesse Parker and Mahone and JW and them ran this time around. And it didn't feel bad. It felt like more of a deck that you did want to go second, kind of get those turn one explosive knockouts, and it did play the Drapion for the Mew, which is understandable. But I still feel like unless you get the exact sequence against Gardevoir, the Gardevoir matchup was still really tough to beat. It also didn't feel as good against Lugia because you don't have the pass. So it was kind of a pro and con to it, you know? So I didn't really feel as comfortable about that build as much as I did with this build. So round one, of course, I went up against a Gardevoir player. I won game one pretty convincingly. It took me knocking out 3 of his Curlias before he finally just scooped. Then we went to game two. He ended up sneaking out the win. I had boss in my hand for game, and he ended up finding the pieces that he needed for the knockout and won with like 5 minutes left in the round. So unfortunately, we did tie. Round two, I played against a mirror. I feel more than comfortable in the mirror, so I won that. Round three, I played against a Rapid Strike Inteleon, and I don't know if you know this, but Rapid Strike Inteleon is a very hard matchup for Miraidon, because all your Pokemon, unless you have the Charm on it, are within the one-hit knockout from the Urshifu, plus they can also snipe your Flaffy off the bench. So it's a very tough matchup when they could take 3 prizes. I ended up losing game one. I came back and won game two pretty convincingly. We went to game three, and I found literally what I needed was his turn one. He only had Inteleon V, no Urshifu, and I literally went boss for the Inteleon, and then I literally went boss for the Urshifu, and by then it was too late. He wasn't able to keep up with the prize trade. Round four, I played against another Rapid Strike Inteleon deck, so hitting back to back with my worst matchup, which was like, I think maybe 6% there at Pittsburgh, was really tough. Same thing happened to me. I lost game one, came back, snuck the game two win, and game three, he went Remoraid in the active, played Lumineon V for a research, only had Urshifu V down, and so on my turn, I'm like, okay, I had no boss in my opening hand, I squawk, no boss. If I would have had the boss I had the Miraidon powered up. If I would have had the boss for the Urshifu V, I probably would have just won that game and took over. So I ended up going rope, taking the 2 prizes on the Lumineon. He researched, found pretty much exactly what he needed, ended up getting a 3-prize turn, and I could have returned KO with Raichu, but I ended up whiffing back-to-back generators when I only needed 2 energy. So it's kind of like one of those things that just didn't go my way at all. But I mean, what else can you do? I really gave myself a chance. I played 4 bosses, didn't see any of them in the first 14 cards. So round 5, I played against Aiden. Aiden was playing Lost Zone Box. He had his surprise hidden in game 1 until the very end. I only had to take 1 more prize. He had to take 2, and he brought out a Abominal and whacked my Miraidon for the 270 with the Charm for knockout for game. I think he might have played a little bit slow game 2, but needless to say, I knew going into it would have been very hard to finish a game 2. And with time called, all I needed was 1 more turn for my last prize. He had no way to get the knockout for 3 prizes, so I would have won game 2. But needless to say, if I was 2-2-1 or 2-1-2, I would have to win out in order to make day 2. And I know it affects the final standings at the end of the day, but it is what it is. I would have had to win out, but I would rather, I knew I'd have to win out after I lost that game 1, because I just knew there wasn't going to be enough time to finish the games. Round 6, I played against Annabelle. He played. I want to say he played Gardevoir. He played because I did play against another Gardevoir, and he played Gardevoir. I actually won pretty convincingly. Just kind of took off, path him, and he was stuck both games. Took both games pretty convincingly. Round 7, Ben. I want to say he played Wasso and Tina. Yeah. Or maybe Annabelle. Annabelle played Wasso and Tina. I think it was Ben. I played against 2 Wasso and Tinas also. And that happened in this little stretch of run too. I played against a Guardi and 2 Wasso and Tinas. Basically, Wasso and Tina. Basically, kind of the same exact reason why I was saying like I'd run the 4 bosses. I won 2 games out of 3 in both of those matches, and literally went second, boss KO Tina's, just kind of really convincingly controlling the games. Then after that, I knew I had to win him in, and of course I ended up getting paired against JW. I didn't know what kind of version of Miraidon that they played. I won game 1. It was a good back and forth battle. Game 2, he ended up pulling out the win. He had, I want to say it was a lost vacuum for knockout. Because if you lost vacuum the charm, then it's within reach of Raikou and Miraidon a lot easier. Game 3, I opened up my opening hand, and it is basically a dead hand, except I do have Ultra Ball. And I went to go get Squawk. Squawk was prized. So I had to get Miraidon and just set up and put down Path and Pass. And he had 4 Seal Stone already in his opening hand with the Flying Pikachu in the active. So he was able to get out of the path, set up. It came down to like a key point because the following turn, I ended up taking out his flat. I think it was 2 turns later, I ended up taking out his Flaffy. And he had only a Raikou with 2 energy and a charm on it. He had no other lighting energy on board, and no Flaffy now. And he ended up judging, and I got 2 generators off of the judge, and I could have easily powered up the Raikou if I hit 2 energies with both generators again. So that was my game 3 against JW. So there's not much else to say. It was just very bad luck with the generators and 2 out of my 3 losses. Other than that, there's not a thing I would have changed really about the deck. There was a ton of us that were 5-3-1. I think maybe like 150 people, if not more. And I know my group, there was a bunch of us that started out. There was a bunch of them that started out like 5-0, 4-1, and only one of them ended up making day 2. So there was a bunch of us that literally lost our win and ends. I did finish, like I said, 351. But if I would have had that one turn, took the tie, or at least said something to him and got a tie out of it, then I would have maybe got maybe 100, maybe 150 spots more. But needless to say, so we got 20 championship points from Pittsburgh. So that puts me at 110 now. But it was still really fun. So I ended up playing GLC on Friday. I played with Pellet's Elusive Feather deck. This is more of an older version, I think, of his deck. The only thing I missed on this picture was the Lost City and the Turf Field Stadium. Very fun deck to play. I never actually played it. No practice with it. I went and just played with it. I went 3-1. I did misplay on the 1 loss, and it was against a favorable matchup. But I just was not able to set up an attacker on turn 2, and it kind of just fell behind after that. Because this deck, as you can kind of see, it's meant to be quick attacking for turn 2. So yeah, unfortunately that was my 1 loss. It was the fighting I lost to. I beat Dark, I beat Carlos, and I want to say it was Dragon. I don't remember what the last game was that I beat, but very fun deck to play. This was the deck that I've been waiting to try. I was gonna play it at GLC at Hartford, but I never got the chance to. So it's definitely a deck I'm gonna keep together. A very fun deck. Jump Bluff with Muscle Band is pretty broken, just to get the extra damage counters out there. The Beedrill is really good. Some people might substitute the Vespa Queen, but the Vespa Queen also is a really solid attacker. Torterra obviously speaks for itself. The Roserade speaks for itself. I think the supporter line is very good. A lot of them help set up the whole combo and everything that's going on. So I think that's very good. And it's very good with the search cards that are in this deck. So there's not really anything I would say or change about the deck. It was a lot of fun to play. Then on Sunday, I played Phoenix's Turbo Dark. As you guys know, like I build my own Turbo Dark with more of the Crobat. So I wanted to try his version. And game one, I beat a Carlos, a Dragon, and I lost to a Carlos. They kind of messed us out of like round 4. They only wanted 4 rounds, and then they gave everybody an extra prize wall ticket. So I ended up winning game 1 on like the 3rd turn. Game 2 was a turn 1 donk with the Meowth. Then game 3, he chose to go 2nd, so I already took the Meowth out of the equation, and I had a really slow setup. So it kind of just, and he was able to get the Archeops out and kind of get the ball rolling. He boss KO'd my Guzzlord, and that was kind of like the end of that. As you guys know, once when Carlos gets set up, it has big bulky attackers. So it was kind of, other than like one hit KOing with a Spiritomb, and I couldn't find the cards that I needed, it was kind of tough to hang into that matchup. Overall, the deck though played really well. I ended up, I was counting out the cards and I was like, oh crap, I only got 59. So I ended up I didn't have any other GLC decks on me. So I took an Iono out of my standard deck and popped it in the deck because I'm like, well, Iono's always good no matter what. So that's what I did. But I would definitely take out the Iono for teammates. But otherwise, like the rest of the list, like felt really good. I would also, so it was tough because he Field Blower waved my belt on my Guzzlord, and then I couldn't get an energy plus get a damage modifier in order to take out his Snorlax. So if I had to choose like one or other card to possibly put in this list, it probably would be like the Dark Claw or the Muscle Band, just for the Guzzlord to help reach those bigger Pokemon. But honestly, like I don't even know what you would cut because the supporters I wouldn't mess around with. The supporters are pretty good. And as far as like anything, oh yeah, maybe like red card. I did like red card's good. It's good for disruption. It's always good to basically have your opponent on the ropes and then kind of disrupt their hand too, for basically free. You know, I kind of use red card just because there's a lot of like item searchers in here with like Arven and stuff. And you go through the deck pretty fast, so pulling up a red card on turn 1 and then just red carding your opponent is pretty strong. But that's like the one card I would possibly say you could probably switch out to either the Dark Claw or the Muscle Band. But overall, it was very fun to play. So that was a good time playing GLC, going 6-2 on the day with those. So let's go into some streaming. I'll switch over to live. We're gonna practice a Jesse Parker's deck. And I think the Sanjin and Jesse Parker version, you kind of want to, like I said, you kind of want to go 2nd. I think that's the better route. As we saw, like in the finals match, Jesse was able to kind of sneak a win in there with the slow start by Andrew. So a lot of times that does happen, and that's where Maridon does capitalize on games like that. I don't think I was planning on going to Toronto. I'm actually out in Vegas the week before Toronto, so I don't think I'm not sure if I'm going or not. But I would like to attend Charlotte, Knoxville. I know those are other two that I'm looking at. This is actually a horrible hand going first, but this is actually a good hand going second. So now we can just nest ball from right on, set up, limiting in for a research. I was very happy though with my choices of either playing Maridon or Lugia though, because I mean there's two of each in the top 8 in Pittsburgh, and so I think the meta call was correct. Playing against Ting. So I want to find a rope. Hey, we can't really one-hit KO the Ting unless we have Raichu. The Squawk is there. No Flaps. 2 bosses. The rope's there. 3 generators. Yeah, all the energies are in my hand. I mean, if we get the turn 1 knockout on Koraidon, that wouldn't be bad either. So I think we do this. That's fluffy. If I do want Zapdos. Guess it doesn't really matter too much because we're going to need more than that for the Raichu anyways. We don't have anything else that we could do. Because we didn't draw to force seal either. Yeah, it feels bad. I wonder if that's like the correct time to go for an Arvin turn 1. It's like always the hard call, right? It's like, yes, you want to advance your hand, but yeah, at the same time, it's like... So now we gotta blow this bad boy up. So now we need to hope that we get at least one energy off the generator. Otherwise, we're... Oh my gosh. There we go. Got help. Birds play tonight, and definitely gonna beat the Vikings. Okay, at least we got weapon research. That's good. He's probably gonna just pass. Well, Dino Cry. Ooh. That generator. Just send up the Zapdos. It's probably not as bad. I don't know for me. There we go. Team doesn't really do anything. Only stops Raikou. Yeah, he's stuck Dino crying again. Just trying to think in my head, if I Dino cry, that's not gonna matter, I won't be able to retreat. And boss at the same turn. Same time, but I want to just do it. There we go. So if I do switch card, there we go. We're gaming. That's the only downside. Shuts off the Flaffy. Still not choosing a discard. So it's forcing me to have 5. And 1, 2. I'm down 3 generators though. Yeah, because I guess what I need is boss. I'm sorry, let's see what's in here. Grab this. Grab that. One, two, if I get 2, I win. Oh no. We got there. Let's go. Right? Yeah, it was the first time I ever played against the team though. Of course, spouse and researcher still in it. That's the only thing I don't like about this version. 3 bosses, it's very tough to find them when you need them. What I would like to do is I would like to get onto a consistent stream schedule for you guys. It's definitely something I want to do more often. And then just talking about the game and everything that's been going on. So that's something I would like to do. It's tough though because I'm a nurse, so it's like my schedule is all over the place, and I work every other weekends too. So. What's crazy about that? A couple that I finished second, by the way, there was 3 Miraidons in the top 8, and there was 4 of us playing mirrors to get into top 8. So there was guaranteed 3 Miraidons in top 8. Now this is an interesting matchup because Wuyi has the advantage because they have the Stone Journer, and if they open up with a single prizer in the active that's not Stone Journer, like a Voltal or Pumpkaboo, then it's really hard to win this matchup. But I think, did we just get the turn 1 knockout then? Or you just whiff. Or you just whiff it. Right? There's always that too. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. And what was the chances of missing? Right? Back-to-back generators. I think it's the only thing that could beat this deck is itself. Alright, I'm down for that. Saving boss in this deck is struggle. Of course the squawk. He doesn't have any RTFs yet. He has to read the one. Interesting. I'm gonna disrupt his hand though. Ah, is there only 2 things? One of these 2 things. I don't think, well, we didn't have a way to get there anyways. Because I attached before I animal, so. I know with the Lugia being damaged, we can go up with like Zapdos or something else. He's only playing with one shot. This is a tough position because like I get Dynamotor onto Raikou, and then I kind of want a boss. I can just boss up the Archeops now, but that wouldn't do me any good. See, Lugia, I don't know, Lugia matchup is a little sketchy. They're doing the Carlos build though, so it should be okay. So we don't need Zapdos in this matchup, but it would be nice to have a single prize or trade with. At the same time, we also need 2 prizes out there. Oh boy. How the heck did we, with any all energy? I forgot that we had a Raikou out. Let's do this. Still nothing. See if we paralyze. Yes, we always do. I only used that attack like 3 times on this game, and it's always hit heads. So now he needs a jet in his hand to get out of this. This matchup, we don't need the Raichu. I just gotta remember, Weird Deer, I do have the knockout with the Miraidon. The only one I need. Oh, okay. Interesting. We're just not going to do anything good in this matchup. Okay. It's crazy. Now if we had a charm for the Raikou, that'd be great, because then I could prevent the knockout. Part of me doesn't even want to retreat. Charm. Okay. Alright. I'm not sure. Like, if I just pass, he probably doesn't get the attack off, right? If I don't attack, then we just boss KO on the T-Risers or the Archeops. Yeah, it's a tough call. Not bad. Oh well. It really was. So he's playing the Japan list that has the blocks Norlax. So he's gonna try to block me. And I still have my rope left. I need to draw. I don't know. So, what do we have here? Play boss KO. The Archeops. That doesn't really do me any good at this time. My boss is on the deck. Oh my gosh. What? Down 3 generators. What I need is 1 generator. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, definitely needed it. Yeah, I almost been prized the second one. Hey, wait. Yeah, I feel like in that Lugia matchup, you have to, without Path, like, you literally have to take that turn 1 knockout on 2 Prizer. We open up the pig. I did get Dratini and Dragonair plushies to, I was in Pittsburgh to go up there with my Dragonite. I was trying to get the big Dragonite too off the prize wall on Sunday, but by the time GLC ended, they were all gone. Yeah, I know, right? We were practicing Sagen Parks / Jesse Parker's list. What we need to find is a really good, consistent Dragon list for GLC. That's one thing we need. It always feels like it's just missing something. Like it's either not fast enough in setup or it's just not bulky enough. It feels like it's always missing something. What are we playing against? Yeah, they are. I mean, they are definitely player dependent. It definitely takes skill with Dragon, because you have to know what you're looking for and what you want to set up. I think now with like Giacomo and Enhanced Hammer now getting the fame it should have been getting in GLC, I think now it's becoming a little bit more harder to run Dragon. And it's all because of Carlos. Carlos being so powerful, having gift energy and everything like that too, that doesn't help at all. Alright. Oh dear. What's this guy running? Drago? Charmander? What is going on here? I he's running Zard, I know I have to set up 2 Flaffies. Zard is a very hard matchup for Rhydon. Of course. Why wouldn't I, right? Yeah, that's true. New sets like never have any dragon cards. New Dragonite though from 151 I'm excited for. Could possibly replace the fastball. It's a better attacker for just 2 energy. And maybe with the ancient Pokemon they'll give us something cool for Dragon. Motivate. Oh man, we need to research there. Heads, we're gaming. I want a Fleetfoot so bad, but we have the knockout here. Don't give me this though, that's for sure. Thanks, mate. So, we got some draw supporters at least. If he's playing Zard, he's probably not playing Path, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. I think it's safe to say if he does get knockout, then we could just... What does he have with this guy? Dragon Laser? That's it? Oh boy. So he's in trouble unless he can discard something out of his hand. I think it would be safe to say that with Fleetfoot and probably gonna go Ion. Yeah, there's Duraludon. But Duraludon only hits for 220. So he's still 10 short. He has to be able to probably get research or something here. I don't know. Okay. There we go. Give me Missile goes back. Hopefully I hit Flappy. Or I'll go like Drapion, Ultra Ball with Drapion and Squawk. Go with Flappy. Zard's in for 240 now. Kind of want to boss up Zard at the same time. With my board state, that'd be very hard for me to do. Yeah, this is a tough position with my board state. Oh, that works. Let's just see if we can mess up for it. And we do. They're playing this matchup where I want Zapdos though. No, probably not. If I get rid of the Raichu though, I'm in big trouble. With this Zard. I feel like I have to, right? But there's no other way around that. Unless I don't research this turn. But then that feels really bad. If I'm not digging through the deck further. I should have probably switched cart. Now he could Drago. And take.
Yes.
Or no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't knock me out. The Arvin, generator, for sale. Yeah, that's probably the correct move. I can't reach boss this turn. If I rope. Actually, I could boss. So I can go get one minion. If I rogue, I'm getting a single prizer, which does not do me any good. Go get one minion. boss of the Zard now. I would need 6, right? Oh boy. Oh wait, I already are then, so I can't even boss. Never mind about that. There's one in here. If we get hand disrupted, we have boss for Leafeon. We don't get hand disrupted. It's probably gonna take out the Raichu. Oh, alright, okay. That's interesting. Both courts are down there too. Um, oh, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't. There was only one more generator on the deck, or prizes that was in there. Fine, Pika. No. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Yeah, the last generator was surprised. I think my last Murado was surprised. I think Generator and Murado were in the last two prizes. That was tough. Depends on what version of Awesome that they're playing here. See grass, so hopefully it's Tina. If it's Tina, we like that. We like Tina. Also, on boxes a little bit harder to beat, and depending on what their tech card is. Of course, they did good. You know, the path out. Yeah, food would have been helpful. Nothing on the second one. This is where getting like turn one path on just is horrible for the whole deck setup. And that's why when you do like mirrors against each other, in Maridon, it's definitely interesting. Come on, save the boss. Wow, they beat themselves. The path probably prevented them from being able to draw, I'm sure. At least one of those turns. Right now, guys, we're playing Jesse's Maridon list from second place at Pittsburgh. The deck usually wants to go second, try to get that turn one knockout and be up ahead on prizes. and go from there. It definitely feels a little questionable against like Zard and Lugia without the paths. The last on Tina, you guys just saw there, like we weren't able to bump the path at all, not able to fleet foot, not able to really set up. But it takes advantage of other players just having a worse hand than you, where they're not able to set up and attack. The beginning of the stream, I went over kind of the breakdown of how I did at Pittsburgh, where I'm at in championship points, and what I've done on local cups. Recently, week before Pittsburgh, I played a local cup. It was like 2 hours away from me, and ended up losing in the finals to Nicholas Moffitt. Nick was running Kyogre in his last box build. He ended up finishing 10th overall at Pittsburgh. I finished 351. But there's a game where I should have tied. Maybe finished like 100 spots further than I did. But needless to say, whether it was 2-2-1 or 2-1-2, I had to win out in order to make day 2 of Pittsburgh. I ended up playing a Murad Amir. In my final round, I ended up playing against JW. If you know JW, him, Mahone, Jesse Parker, they're all the ones who played Murad on 2 Worlds. And they came out with kind of the more Stadium Park type list with the beach courts this time around. And me and him ended up having a really epic game 3. And it came down to just whiffing generators. So overall, it was a good run. Went 5-3-1 in Pittsburgh. Plus 20 championship points. I'm 110 between 2 cups, 1 challenge, and Pittsburgh. So considering I've been playing for a year and a half and this is my first competitive season, I'm very happy with how I am doing so far. Thank God we're going second here, because this is a horrible looking opening hand. I can't research away the generators. We're going to have to, I don't know. Sydney. What? What is this guy playing? We really just drew into our energy. I think we just let the iron go. We feel bad putting another single prizer in play. Yeah, honestly, that's fine. I think we just check pass. We could always Orban first tool and an item, but I feel like we have to get our hand going here. Beach court doesn't, or path doesn't really do too much here. Yeah, let's just beach court and research. Wow. Feels bad using a switch card there though. Sorry about that, guys. That's a call. Oh, looks like we're gaming right now. Question is, do we want to switch card or the charm? Think about using charm on Zap, switch card on Riker. It, I feel like against Lost Box, you don't want to put down 2 1-carders. I know that was like when I was running Zero Aura with Laffy, but that's a big thing that you want to avoid. So knowing that Zapdos was already in the active when we started this game, I feel like that was the good reason to avoid the Flaffies. And as long as you are bouncing around between Miraidon, Raikou, you should be honestly okay as far as like energy counts and not needing Flaffy. He's gonna lost vacuum away my charm. He's definitely gonna lost mine, Raikou. And then probably put 1 on the Zapdos so then he can cram it next turn. Yep. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a charm here, energy here. Let's call. Oh my gosh. You can't make this shit up. So yeah. We want to top deck Iono here. Keep the hand destruction going. He's gonna just basically just try to spam Lost Mine against me. He's gonna get Marie. He played 2 horns? That's very odd. And 3 Sableye. Alright. trying to think in my head, guys. Lost vacuum. He puts 12 there. I go down 2. He goes down to 2. I go down to 1. Okay. So we're gonna hang on to a minion. I was thinking I could have played it for Iono, but probably not the correct call to play it yet. There we go. Oh, the other one is discarded. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right, I used it in the beginning. I was assuming there were 2 generators in my opening hand. I used both charms and both switch cards. But right now, as the board state stands, he can't do 160. He can't do enough damage with a Lost Mine to take 3 prizes. He'll get 2 prizes there, but he won't have enough time to get anything else. Alright, so we already used both charms, so we get attach that. Attach that. I'm pretty sure we just went here. It has to do a lot. iPhone app 6. Yeah, for a while. I have an iPhone too, and I don't really like playing the game on there, and it overheats everybody's phone, which is ridiculous too. Sad. Unless he has like a Kyogre attack, I don't think there's anything else that he could have done to win. Double Horn and 3 Sableye though. I mean, I was like all in on the last mine there he was playing. Oh, was he playing a third horn? Was he searching for a third horn? To get 3 prizes? That'd be like the only thing I could think of, right? What else was he searching for there? I think if you're going to be more in on a 3 Sableye type strategy with a horn, you got to go more like Sablezard. Cyrus Davis plays Sablezard. Think she got the day 2? Yeah, she did get the day 2. She was sitting right next to me on a win-in though, so she actually played against Zard on her win-in. It was like normal Zard EX build with the Arceus and the Pidgeot. And when I was playing against JW in a Miraidon mirror, I was like, yeah, I kind of wish I played against the Zard. Zard deck is actually kind of hard to beat with Miraidon. It's a little bit easier if they it's a lot easier if they put down the Pidgeot, then it's just a boss target for you. But if they don't do that, then it's really hard to win that. It seems to take 2 prizes, they're hitting 240, so unless you have something out there with the belt. Well, this is horrible. Let's hope we're playing against Mew, I guess. Oh my god, are we actually playing against Mew and we open up with Drapion? That'd be hilarious. It's even gonna be funnier when I put a charm on this damn thing. Research. Now we're talking. One time we open up with Drapion. They're definitely going to retrieve the Meletta. Switch card. What am I doing? I want to get rid of these guys. See, the thing is, to one touch a charm. Oh, it feels bad if I discard the other charm. Should probably grab Flying Pikachu instead though. Just a cord. We already discarded one Flaffy, so let's do. You know what? None of it matters anyways. So I don't like the same. Wow. And we're going to defense mode here. That was tough. That was tough to decide what is actually the better call there. We can't attack with the Drapion. Also, I attached energy, and it would feel bad attacking Drapion just into the Mellow. Now he's playing top deck mode. You have to get an energy in a sec. Well, he taps the Mew this turn, so he can't use Sparkle and attach the Meletta now. Oh, that's a pretty good hand. I think we have one switch card and one rope to go home. If we go gets rope here, I just give up the Marie. Oh, he lost vacuum away. Wow. That's a lot of energy. What, eight already, dude? Jeez. Okay, let's put my force system right now. Yeah, I think I just go start off on for the rope, right? I'm getting a KO here either way. Come on. Oh, this game gotta suck. Fuck yes. Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, it's so dumb when the game does this. Is there that maintenance that's going on live at all? I saw something about that. That's why Mahomes not streaming today. Because this is just crazy right now. What is going on here? It's not letting you play at all. This is Andrew. I put together Andrew's Kyogre list. Path build. No one can log on. Yeah, there's an update. Yeah, of course. Yeah, so it looks like the fun's done for now. Then, yeah, if I close that, yeah, I know. That's what I kind of figured. So I know that has happened in the past about updates, but you can't even play right now. So, let me pull up. What I kind of went over at the beginning of my stream, guys. So, yeah, back on August 13th, I went to my first cup, took towards Guardiolus, played that Sunday, finished second in my first ever cup, so I was very proud of that. Went to my first challenge like 2 weeks before that, got fourth, so I got 50 points there from those two events, then registered for Pittsburgh, played Guardy to two more cups, finished 16th and 10th, and then just finished second to Nicholas Moffitt with Maridon last Saturday before Pittsburgh, a week before Pittsburgh. That's me and him sitting right here. He played a Lost Zone box, but with the Kyogre. He took out the Kyogre for Pittsburgh. He still finished 10th in Pittsburgh, so he still had a great run in Pitt. And it was just really cool that like we ended up playing a Maridon versus Lost Zone box Kyogre in our finals in our cup, and then that's what ended up being in the finals in Pittsburgh. I kind of did like a breakdown of what I thought was going to be big in Pit. Obviously, La Santina was expected to be pretty good. Guardian Mew weren't as high as I thought they would have been. Last Box was the second highest, and I see why. Last Box is obviously good. I was just figuring if people knew how to play against it correctly, then it's a very hard matchup. But there's a bunch of different Last Box builds with a bunch of different techs in them. Lugia and Miraidon were right behind them also. And I actually had sleeved up Lugia and Miraidon for Pittsburgh because I played Guardia at NAIC, and obviously I was playing into these cups, and I didn't want to tie with Guardia. So that was the reason why I was going with Lugia or Miraidon. This is my build from that cup in Pittsburgh. I didn't change a thing between the two. It's basically Mahone's build from Worlds, except I took out the Arvin for a fourth boss. The fourth boss just felt really good against Mew, felt really good against La Santina, because you just bossed up their Vs. So it really just helped against a lot of matchups. Because one thing I learned in my year and a half of playing is that boss wins games. So playing four bosses, not worrying about what you squawk or research turn one, was a really great feeling. Even if you did have to discard 2, playing only 3 and discarding 2 would absolutely feel horrible. So that's why I went with a fourth boss, and the list felt perfectly fine. My matchups here from day 1, I played against Neil. Neil was playing Guardy. I won game 1 pretty convincingly. He kind of stalled it out a little bit. He had a really slow start, and I kind of just took out his Curlias ASAP. Game 2, what came down, I had game in my hand with Boss my following turn, but he found exactly what he needed for game, and we finished game 2 with like 5 minutes left on the clock, so we ended up being a tie because of that. Round 2, I played against Zach. Zach was a mirror, so I obviously felt really comfortable with my mirrors. Otherwise, I would not play the deck if I didn't feel comfortable with the mirror match. So 2-0'd him. Round 3, I played against Rapid Strike Intellion. Obviously, very unfavorable matchup for Miraidon. He got game 1. Game 2, I was able to just kind of control the board a little bit better and took that win. We went to game 3, and he literally his only V on turn 1 was Intellion, so I just bossed it, and then I went boss Urshivu, and then I blew up the VMAX at the end. So pretty convincingly game 3 win. He tried to hand disrupt me, but it really didn't help. Round 4 was another Rapid Strike Intellion. I lost game 1 again. I won game 2, won the game 3, and he went first. He slapped down Remoraid, went Luminion V for research, and his only other V on the board was Rapid Strike Urshivu. So I knew I had to try to get the boss. Opening hand, no boss. I squawk, and no boss. The fact that I played 4 boss and didn't have any of them in those opening hand was pretty crazy. I had the Miraidon already powered up with the electric generators, so I had to stick with a rope that was in my hand. And I had no way to force seal stone for the boss. So I had a rope, get the Luminium V, but then he researched and drew into exactly what he needed, took 3 prizes, and I could have returned KO with the Raichu, but I whiffed 2 generators. And unfortunately, that's like what happens with Miraidon. Aiden in round 5, I played against the Lost Zone Box. He didn't show me his tech until the very end. I had to take 1 more prize. He had to take 2. He brings out a Cabominal and 1 hit KO the Miraidon for the game 1 loss. And unfortunately, as you know, against Lost Box players, it's very hard to finish a full set. So at this point, I either had to go 2-1-2 or 2-2-1 and win out, basically. And game 2, if I would have 1 more, he did play a little bit slow in game 2, and if I would have 1 more turn, I would have won, but I would have just tied it. Needless to say, if I would have had a tie compared to a loss, maybe like 100 spots difference on where I placed, maybe like 250. But there was a lot of people that were 5-2-2 and 5-3-1. So I went into round 6 against, I don't remember if it was round 6 or 7. Either one of them was playing Guardia, one of them was playing La Santina. The Guardia matchup kind of just controlled the board a lot. Just kind of went second. He didn't really set up too hot both games. I 2-0'd that. Against Los Antina, both round 7 and 8 were both against Los Antina. And basically it came down to game 3s, and I'm just bossing up their Vs and KOing them early, keeping the 2 prizes off the board. My one opponent, he tried to do the whole Greninja attack for 3 prizes, and he played 3 water energy, and he prized 2 of his waters. So he scooped up the second game pretty early. Actually, yeah, no, the one I did 2-0 one. So yeah, against Los Antina, this deck felt really good, despite them playing Path and me playing Path. Round 9, of course, I got paired up against JW. I didn't realize that they were on a different Miraidon build. I thought for sure that they were playing Path. I won game 1 pretty convincingly. Then we went to game 2. Oh, I forgot to switch over the screen. Then we went over to game 2. He ended up pulling out the win. There you guys go. Alright, I ended up winning game 2 against JW. And we went to game 3. I was going first, and basically my hand was dead in the beginning. I went to Ultra Ball, no Squawk. Squawk was in the prizes, and I had a slow start. I ended up KOing his Flaffy, like turn 3, and it came down to a pivoted point where he only had a Raikou with 2 energies and a Charm. I had and no Flaffy. He had no other energy on board, and he judged me, and I drew into 2 generators, and I had Raichu already down, and I basically just needed 2 energies off those generators to get the knockout with the Raichu, and I think I was pretty much set from there, but with both generators. So that was unfortunately how my run ended in Pittsburgh, finishing 5-3-1. This was the deck list. I said, like Mahomes list, just with the 4th boss. This was kind of what I predicted for the meta. Somewhat close. Finished second at the cup to Nick with Miraidon, and then, like I said, my first ever cup, finished second with towards Gardevis. So yeah, now I have more points with Miraidon than Gardevoir. At 110 points. I played GLC on Friday there. I played Pellets, Elusive Feather. Really fun grass deck to use. It's a quick attacking grass deck. The only thing that's missing out of this picture, Lost City, Turffield Stadium, but definitely a really fun grass deck to play. There's not really anything I would change about this list at all. And then Sunday I played Phoenix's Turbo Dark build, so I ended up counting my cards and I had 59 in deck. I didn't realize that, and here I ended up just pulling the Iono out of my standard deck and ran with it. I would probably switch out the Iono for teammates. The only other thing I would think of to add to this is because I needed another damage modifier for Guzzlord, because they Field Blower my Fighting Fury belt, is I would probably add either Dark Claw or Muscle Band. I ran Red Card in this list because Red Card's a great disruption card. In this deck where it's like turbo build, you're finding items really fast, you're searching through the deck pretty fast. It's always a good disruption card, like especially really early in the game, or unless they really build up their hand. So I would maybe just take out the red card for another like Muscle Band or Dark Claw for like another damage modifier for the Guzzlord. Other than that, the deck ran really good. I had games won on turn 2 or turn 3, and then I had a turn 1 knockout. So overall, the deck was awesome and really fun to play. My Turbo Dark build, if you guys remember, I ran like the Crobat line. This is more of a keep cycling the Spirit Tomb type of build, and it is a little bit hard if you just don't find the right cards. But you want to basically be up on prizes, keep taking prizes, and that's the whole idea with that. So now we got a couple mats. I'm hoping. I was thinking about going to Toronto, but I'll be at Vegas the week before Toronto, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna go to Toronto. I'll definitely be at Charlotte and Knoxville. As far as like regional wise, go Birds tonight. Should have no problem handling the Vikings at home. What else can we go over, guys? Really interesting standard right now. It's a lot of fun to play, and I'm really excited for the ancient and future cards to come out in the next set. It'll be a lot of fun. I think it'll be really cool. Looking forward to that. 151 looks really cool. A lot of people are finding different ways to use Zapdos and Miraidon, Mew. If you guys saw, Miraidon actually won the Japan tournament, so out of 3,000 players, so that's looking really good. You guys could reach out to me, as you guys can see. I'm on Twitter, Discord, dsopco91, YouTube, anything like that. I want to hear you guys talk about GLC. I love GLC. We can talk about standard, different ideas, what you guys are looking forward to, what tournaments you guys are going to. But I'm hoping I could try to do more of a stream schedule. That would be nice. It's hard as a nurse because I work a lot of different days, and working every other weekend also doesn't help. So, but I'm hoping to hit more local tournaments. Hopefully, do more streaming with you guys. Okay. So let's wait for this update. Hopefully, we can get back on. I probably won't be back on for today. Got some stuff I have to get done this evening. But probably tomorrow. I'll come on and stream for a little while. Alright, peace.